Notorious murder suspect Adeloya confesses as he falsely accuses Prince Kazeem Eletu Odibo in a murder case. 39-year-old Adeola Williams, popularly known as Adeloya, who is a father of 3 from Ijebu Igbo in Ogun State, was recently arrested by the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team over the killing of one Ganiyu Ayinla, aka Pinero, who was personal assistant to Aziz Adekunle Lawal, the National Union of Road Transport Workers chairman in Idumota, Lagos. The incident took place on January 23rd. While giving account of his activities, he said, "Assassination has been the source of my livelihood for more than a decade now, and I know I have taken many lives that I can't even count, but God knows I'm a new person now. If I get a chance to regain my freedom in this life, I will never go back to crime again. I also advise the millions of youths out there that crime does not pay. I was into crime for over 20 years, and despite the risk involved and the lack of rest of mind, I have nothing to show for it except the uncompleted 3-bedroom bungalow in Ibadan. I have nothing on ground to fall back on despite taking the lives of more than 100 Nigerians as an assassin. May God forgive me." Williams also revealed how he was once arrested and remanded in Ikoyi prison in 1998 for stealing a wristwatch belonging to late Fuji musician Sikiru Ayinde Barrister at a show in Lagos Island. He said, "A fight broke out when he was about leaving the hall, and I found my way to the front where I succeeded in snatching his watch from his wrist. People saw me struggling with his bouncers, and the next day they brought policemen to arrest me in my mother's house." Eventually freed in 2001, he said he went back to being a bus conductor and a driver in Ajah, the same job he was doing before he went to prison. He said he joined the NURTW Ajah branch where he was made a park attendant. Through his years in NURTW, he said he worked for the likes of Musiliu Akinsanya, aka MC Olomo, Akani Olorunwa, who was once a chairman of the union in the state, and one Mustafa Sego, who took over his unit initially. However, Williams said he decided to take the life of Kunle Poli for refusing to talk to the state chairman of the union, Tajuddin Agbede, on his behalf. He said he worked hard for Agbede to emerge as a chairman and that he was dumped after the election. Williams added, "I thought about my predicament because my wife was heavily pregnant and the money I was getting from Olomo wasn't enough, and I wasn't ready to use my gun for armed robbery, so I decided to end the life of the man who refused to help me mend my relationship with Agbede." He said after the attack on Kunle Poli, he was later arrested but that he didn't want to go down alone, thus he indicted some other persons. He added, "I decided to rope in Olorunwa because he was the one who ruined my life. It was my support for him during his fight with MC Olomo that made me to lose my position at the union. After he was removed from office, he had so much money, but he was wasting it on women and movie actors and he refused to help me. If he had given me good money after he left office for staking my life for him, I wouldn't have been roaming about looking for who to kill. I was just so bitter, so I framed him. I made up the story that he paid me 500,000 naira to kill Kunle Poli, and I also lied that I seized his vehicle because he was owing me a balance of 1 million naira." He said he also decided to rope MC Olomo as the person who sent him because he expected him to come to his aid, but that he didn't show up until he finally decided to come clean and say the truth and give my life to Christ. I also lied earlier that I worked for Prince Kazeem Eletu Odibo during the fight between him and Oba Elegushi. Though I didn't know Prince Kazeem before, I have heard his name very well before, and I asked for assistance from him several times through somebody who knows him, but he refused to help me, and that was why I mentioned his name too. But now I am a born-again Christian and I will always say the truth and stand by the truth."
No matter anything you can do for me in this world, you can do to me. I'll never ask anybody to take somebody's life.